social media within the next 72 hours. It required that our intention was not to prevent South Sudanese from accessing information. Our intention is to create pressure for those making profits of the social media platform to also put effort into cleaning up the social media environment, because our children are accessing those images and we need to protect their mental health. And of course, some technical experts are also pushing to think that we have failed to block. Our intention was not to give you a blackout. Our intention is to target the major distributors of these two social media content, which is Facebook and TikTok.
Sounds of the Week on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan.
Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, this is iRadio 1 o'clock news. First, here are the headlines. South Sudan Bar Association has issued a 72-hour ultimatum to National Communication Authority to revoke the social media ban, or it risks being sued at a regional court. The governor of Central Equatoria State issued an immediate directive to halt all logging activities in Kajukeji County. And South African ambassador to South Sudan has donated a Toyota Land Cruiser to the National Elections Commission to facilitate election commissioners' movement as the country heads to poll next year. These stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Baria Johnson, and now the news in detail. South Sudan Bar Association has issued a 72-hour ultimatum to National Communication Authority to revoke the social media ban, or it risks being sued at a regional court. In a statement shared with iRadio's newsroom, signed by the chairperson of South Sudan Bar Association, stated that failure to revoke the ban, the bar will take legal proceedings at South Sudan's courts, East African Court of Justice, as well as other regional and international avenues. On Wednesday, National Communication Authority ordered all internet service providers to partially block all social media sites within the territory of South Sudan for a period of 90 days, effective from 22nd January 2025. The Bar Association stated that the decision violates Article 24, Section 1 and 2 of the Transitional Constitution of the Republic of South Sudan, 2011, as amended, that grants the citizens the right to freedom of speech and expression, reception and dissemination of information, publication and access to the press. The right to freedom of expression is also guaranteed under Article 19(2) of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and Article 9 of the African Charter on Peoples and Human Rights. The South Sudan Bar Association rejected NCA's justifications that the site need to stop the videos and footages of the atrocities committed in West Medani, Sudan from being circulated on social media platforms in South Sudan. It argues that social media platforms provide the people of South Sudan the right to access to information, and that it was through social media that they came to know about the atrocities in Sudan and enabled them to follow the fate of their dear ones. The association has described the decision of NCA as unjust, as it also deprived entrepreneurs opportunity to market their goods and services as part of e-commerce. According to the association, banning social media platforms gives a collective punishment to all South Sudanese over the misconduct of few individuals, which it said is unreasonable, unfair, and unjustifiable. The Director General of the National Communication Authority says Facebook and TikTok could be restored in the country within 72 hours. Speaking at a press briefing, Napoleon Aduok explained that the platforms were temporarily blocked to protect public interest and uphold social values. He said the suspension followed incidents of protest and looting that were fueled by content circulating on the platforms. Aduok clarified that the ban targeted only Facebook and TikTok due to their high volume of video sharing, which was considered sensitive during this period. He emphasized that the intention was not to block internet access entirely, but to address specific concerns. The NCA boss said there is a possibility that these platforms could be restored within 72 hours, even though the initial directive was for 30 days.
And as such, even though we have set the date for 30 days, it means that with this compliance, there is a possibility we can lift this, the ban of these two social media within the next 72 hours. It required that our intention was not to prevent South Sudanese from accessing information. Our intention is to create pressure for those making profits of the social media platform to also put effort into cleaning up the social media environment, because our children are accessing those images and we need to protect their mental health.
Aduok urged the public to report inappropriate content directly to Meta and highlighted that collective action could help regulate the platforms. Addressing concerns about VPN use, Aduok said individuals accessing the platforms through such means were not the target of the directive, but called for responsible sharing of content. A civil society activist has called on the parliament to expedite the enactment of legislations on cybercrime, saying it is critical role in addressing the increasing challenges posed by the digital space. Edmond Yakani, Executive Director of Community Empowerment for Progress Organization, pointed out that the absence of these legislations has left significant legal gaps, preventing the judiciary from effectively addressing cases of computer misuse and cybercrime. According to him, the absence of a legal framework is a major setback in addressing the misuse of technology. Yakani strongly criticized the National Communication Regulatory Authority's decision to impose a 90-day ban on Facebook and TikTok, labeling it a hindrance to democracy, civic engagement, and education. Yakani said the ban limits the democratic engagement of citizens and curtails their access to civic education. He urged the government to lift the ban on these platforms, adding that there shall be targeted legal measures for addressing misuse rather than imposing a blanket bans that affect all users. Civil society activist Yakani spoke to iRadio yesterday.
Concern number one, our parliament have delayed enactment of the legislation on computer misuse and cybercrime, which could have been the law that could have been applied by our judiciary in addressing these particular challenges that we have seen today with regard to matters of computer misuse and cybercrime. So we have legal gaps in our country. Now they are becoming real, and we have seen to the growth of democracy, this decision is unacceptable. This decision is unfortunate because it hinders the exercise of a democratic engagement among citizens, and it limits civic education. We are urging you with due respect and honor, lift the ban on the use of social media platform Facebook and TikTok. There should be a legal way of handling the abuse by some individual whom we term them as criminal-minded individuals. Therefore, let us have legal framework and legal procedures in handling matters associated with misuse or abuse of social media platform.
In September 2024, the Ministry of Justice and Constitutional Affairs presented the Cybercrime and Computer Misuse Bill 2024 to the Transitional National Legislative Assembly after the House previously rejected the law in its provisional form. The legislation originally issued by President Salva Kiir as a provisional order in 2021, faced delays after the parliament ruled in 2023 that its validity had expired. Lawmakers directed Justice and Constitutional Affairs Minister Ruben Madol to repackage the order as a formal bill for reintroduction. An economist and advisor to Vice President Dr. James Wani-Iga has expressed concerns over the economic consequences of the recent social media ban imposed by the National Communication Authority. The ban, which affects platforms like Facebook and TikTok, has sparked widespread debate over its implications for businesses, communication, and revenue generation. Speaking to iRadio yesterday, Dr. Abraham Malid highlighted that social media has become an essential part of economic development in the country. Dr. Malid warned that the ban could disrupt businesses that rely on social media for advertising, customer engagement, and sales.
So there are businesses that are selling and buying and marketing through social media. And that in the end, it's a job for those who are actually having those social media outlets. It's a job through which they will make a living. Also, government make money through these businesses by taxation and revenues. So yes, there will be an impact economically for sure. It will affect them because they will not be outreaching to their potentials, because now they will not be able to communicate at ease as the way they used to do. So attracting new customers or maintaining the existing customers now will be very difficult if this channel is restricted or blocked. So for sure, yes, they will not be able to reach their potential as they have designed to do so. So that is the key. Sure, yes. If somebody advertising their products through social media, then those advertisements will not reach to the potential buyers because there will be no medium to communicate.
The economist cautioned that